A playbook is key to success on the football field. As former Eagle, Vince Papale knows. Wouldn't it be great if we had a playbook for life too? Well, now the inspiration for the movie Invincible has taken the lessons he learned on the gridiron and put them together in a new book. Vince and Janet Papale tell us how we can all be invincible right now on It's Your Call. He has been called the real-life Rocky, a man who overcame all odds to make a childhood dream come true. He is Vince Papale, the former teacher who got a shot to make the Philadelphia Eagles at the age of 30 and whose inspirational journey in the NFL became the acclaimed movie Invincible. She is Janet Cantwell Papale, a former world-class gymnast who turned a career-ending injury into an opportunity to excel elsewhere. First on the diving board, then as a coach, and now as a successful entrepreneur. And they, together, are my special guest on this edition of It's Your Call. Hi there, everyone. It's great to have you with us. I'm Lynn Doyle. The book is called Be Invincible, a playbook for reaching your full potential. And in it, the Papales share their life experiences, including some major disappointments, in hopes of motivating others to be the best that they can be. Janet, Vince, it's great to have you here.
Well, it's great to be here. Thank you very much.
So I'm very interested in learning how I can become invincible. What was
you
your
already
motivation?
are.
What was your motivation to put this book together?
Well, you know, Janet has a great saying. Go ahead, say what you wanted to do. Hit the F5 button.
Well,
right?
the F5 button, you know, we're all refreshing right now. The world's a different world than when we started out years ago. And it's, if you don't like refresh yourself and change who you are, you're going to be left in the passing lane.
So is the key to becoming invincible and to reaching your goals to continue to hit that refresh button?
Well, you have to do that in order to survive. You know that. I call it analyze, adapt, and achieve. And that's one of the chapters in the book, is that you have to see what's going on now, have your game plan, your adaptations, and then make it happen. But one of the motivations for the book simply was, the movie has been out for 5 years.
Can you believe that?
Do I believe it? I can't believe it. Like just past Labor Day weekend, and I remember being in this studio on this set talking about this movie when it was first coming out. And it spawned a speaking career for me, and going out and talking all over the country, all over the world. And then recently, because of the economy, whatever, everybody's having setbacks, and the speaking sort of dropped off because the first person or the first thing that they're going to do at conventions or whatever, they're going to cut out the speaker. Or people aren't going to these conventions anymore, so they're not having them anymore. So we figure, well, one way to sort of generate some interest is, well, let's come out with another book. So what's going to be the title of the book? And we messed around with the, you know, it's never too late to get into the game, you know, the playbook for life. And then finally it was Be Invincible, a playbook for realizing your full potential. And it first started out, was going to be mostly my speech in the book fashion, in the form. And then as I'm talking to our co-writer, Tim Vanderhey, and as I'm talking to him on Skype, and he's out in Seattle, and then I said, Janet, what do you think? And she had just such great perspective and insight as to, on all these topics and chapters we're talking about. All of a sudden, she kicked me out of my seat, got in front of the computer, started talking, and says, you know what, I should be in this book. And we both said, you know what, you should be in the book.
What's the purpose of the book? What do you hope that people take away from it after reading it?
That they're all special, and that they all have moments, and that they can be special and reach and have a dream. People forget to dream anymore. They're just like on a treadmill, and they're moving, and they're moving forward, but they don't know. And then they hit a roadblock. And it's really about saying, you know what, I hit a roadblock. Let's go back, let's figure out, what was I good in? Who believes in me? What can I do? And you go to your next thing.
We know Vince's story because, as we said, it's been memorialized on film forever and ever now. Tell people your story. What was your dream when you were a young girl?
Oh, well, when I was a little girl, I'm the oldest of 9 children. So, and the first 6 were girls. So
your dream was to have your own room.
Yeah, that's right. We had one bathroom.
A little bit of space.
You know, you're right, because, you know, like when we met Mark, I said to Mark, I go, how many bathrooms do you have in your house? Because he's the youngest of 9, and I'm the oldest of 9. He looked at me and said, what are you talking about?
Right.
Are you nuts? And I go, well, no. I mean, you want a bathroom, don't you?
Absolutely. So besides the fact of hoping to have some space to yourself, you were the oldest of 9.
Yep.
7 girls. You were all gymnasts. Did you, from the very time that you were young, want to be a world-class gymnast?
I had no idea. Really, I was very sickly. My other sisters were very good. I ruptured my spleen when I was 9, had the last rites, and then I went from there and I saw my sister doing this great gymnastics, and I go, oh, can I please do it? I want to do this. They go, oh, forget it. You can't do this. You're not well. You're sickly. You're this. And I'm the one that made the team.
So you made the
World Games.
U.S. gymnastics team, and were on track to do really well, but then had what ended up being a career-ending injury. At 18, how disappointing was that?
I know. It was devastating because my whole life revolved around being an athlete. My whole identity was being an athlete. And, you know, when you're a gymnast especially, you're told what to do. You're directed. Your coaches make your decision. So your whole life is you're a jock. You don't know what else to do. And I went on to college and I was devastated. I didn't know what to do. And I started trying different sports because I wasn't ready to give it up. And I went on and I tried diving, and I went in and some friends I knew were doing diving. I said, well, I can flip. Just because I blew out my knee doesn't mean I can't flip. And I went into diving and I broke all the records, and they went, oh my God.
So there she took a situation that could have been devastating and really could have set anyone back or into a depression, and she found a way to make it work. And that's kind of the premise of the book, is even if you've had disappointments, that you can still find a way to turn those disappointments and overcome those obstacles into success for yourself.
Well, that's what we sort of use as a definition for Invincible, Lynn, you know, and it's that kind of an attitude that there's going to be all kinds of obstacles that everyone's going to face, but it's the question of can you overcome those obstacles? And if you can and you've done it, you know, what was the turning point? What was your moment of truth? So what we've done in the book is we've created what's called your Invincible moment. And we're playing around with you, you know, outside and say, well, what's your invincible moment? You know, and mine that I wrote about in the book, Janet told you, basically hers, mine was getting my track scholarship at the St. Joe's when things were falling apart at home with our family, and getting that education, which was really key. But one of the features in the book is having people telling their invincible moments. We're going to have one of our guests coming on, so let that surprise happen. But, you know, we've got a guy who climbed Mount Everest, Michael Ruzioni, a person who lost a leg at the peak of her career and now inspires the troops. Just tremendous stories, uplifting stories.
You know, it's interesting because uplifting is the great way to describe these invincible moments that people shared in your book. But what about the people who are sitting at home saying, well, I haven't really done anything spectacular. I don't have diving records at Penn State. I didn't make the Eagles at 30 and become, you know, the subject of a movie. I'm just a regular old person who doesn't have an invincible moment.
Everybody has had their invincible moment. And when I get out and speak, that's the first thing I say. It's what Janet and I had marquee value. But everybody in their life has had something that they've done where it was extraordinary, where people said it couldn't be done. And, you know, and get confidence and get control of your life to what you did in order to get through that. And a lot of times you have to revert back to your fundamentals. And that's one of the keys, one of the things we talk about. So all we want to do is have fun with it. We had a lot of fun with it. Give people hope, maybe motivate, and a little bit of teaching along the way.
Okay, well, as always, we want to invite our viewers to be a part of our discussion. If you have questions or comments for Vince or Janet, you can go ahead and start emailing us now. If you're looking for a little bit of motivation, or that you feel that you're being held back maybe by some obstacles, you can share those with us as well. If you want to be part of it, you can email me at lynn@lynndoyle.net. And as always, you can always find us on Facebook, Twitter, and we'll be on YouTube as well. Are you looking for a playbook for a life? We're going to check in with you in just a moment. We're going to take a short break though, but when we return, we're going to meet another great example of being invincible. Luann Khan, an NBC reporter and breast cancer survivor, will share her invincible moment. Stay with us for that.